We have to find out which one the father is.
How?
I don't know. Don't they have tests for these things, right?
Yeah, but maybe we're just overreacting.
Easy for you to say. He's a father killer. He probably loves his mommy. He's probably got a tattoo that says mom on his shovel-wielding arm.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of React. Today, we are going to be watching an episode of Friends, one of my favorites. So this is in the final season. Monica and Chandler have welcomed Erica to their home. Erica is the biological mother of the babies that they're adopting, although I don't think they know it's babies yet, so spoiler alert. And in this episode, they discuss who the biological father is. So let's look. Before we dive in, please feel free to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
Thanks so much for showing me around.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We're so much enjoying getting to know you.
Well, if there's anything else you want to know.
Okay. Do you mind if we ask you some questions about the father?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, he was my high school boyfriend, captain of the football team, really cute. And he got a scholarship and went off to college.
That's great.
Yeah, it's almost definitely him.
How's that now?
Well, there's a chance it's another guy. I mean, I've only ever been with two guys, but they sort of overlapped.
So what does the other guy do? Does he go to college too?
No, he's in prison.
Oh.
Well, was he falsely accused of something?
No, he killed his father with a shovel. But other than that, he's a great guy.
I'll bet his dad doesn't think so.
Are you awake?
Of course I'm awake. Assume from now on that I'm always awake.
All right. We don't know that it's him. I mean, it could be the football guy.
Honey, it's us. Of course it's the shovel killer.
All right. Let's say that it is him. Would we not want the baby? No. Would we treat him any differently?
I'd keep an eye on him. We have to find out which one the father is.
How?
I don't know. Don't they have tests for these things, right?
Yeah, but maybe we're just overreacting.
Easy for you to say. He's a father killer. He probably loves his mommy. He's probably got a tattoo that says mom on his shovel-wielding arm. Hey, how was lunch?
We had a good time. By the way, I wanted to ask you something. It would really mean a lot to me if the baby was a boy, that you name him after my father, Jiminy Billy Bob.
Oh, really?
No, you were right. That was fun. I'm gonna go finish packing.
Okay. So, is she gonna take the test?
No, she doesn't have to. I found out who the father is.
Oh, God. It's Shovelly Joe, isn't it?
No, it's not.
How do you know?
Well, it turns out that Erica didn't pay much attention in sex ed class because the thing she did with that prison guy would be pretty hard to make a baby that way.
Oh, God, what was it? The thing we hardly ever do or the thing we never do?
The thing we never do.
Shovelly Joe.
Oh, no. Oh, that's funny. Mostly because I absolutely remember going back to high school and having sex ed classes and people not knowing how you became pregnant and definitely thinking things like that. Although I don't know, hopefully in high school they weren't doing the things that they never do. But yeah, I think I don't know, I just always love Friends, but I think this episode, particularly Chandler's concern about if the baby is the son of the shovel killer Joe, I think kind of that whole nature versus nurture thing is something that a lot of parents worry about. And, you know, I think particularly in surrogacy, and we work with a lot of people who are using donors, right? We probably work with more intended parents who are using egg donors rather than sperm donors, but it's still a gamete donor. And you do have a lot of parents who worry about the qualities and the characteristics that their child will be inheriting from the donor, which I think is really valid. And, you know, there's a lot of interesting research out there about, nature versus nurture, things, you know, like epigenetics, so stuff that happens during the pregnancy to activate certain genes. And I think it's really fascinating. I don't know. What do you think, Carly?
Yeah, absolutely, Jess. I echo what you say. I think that they have the right to know, who the biological father of the child that they're adopting. And like you say, it's not that they inherit those, genes. But, like you say, everybody will think, if they have that type of characteristic, is that child then going to, be that type of person? And absolutely not. It's, it's how you bring that child up, isn't it? It's not necessarily the child's going to do the similar things as the parent, if you will. So yeah, no, I totally agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like a lot of our parents, we work with some absolutely incredible parents. And one thing that a lot of parents I think often worry about is education level, right? In their donor. Because they want somebody who, they're already thinking ahead, right? If you're choosing a donor for your child, you want to choose somebody who matches, not only the physical characteristics, but, the emotional characteristics, the mental characteristics that, you have a vision of what you would like for your future child often.
Yes.
That doesn't change just because you're having a child through surrogacy. And education, I always find, is a really interesting one to talk to parents about because, education and educational aspirations or the level of education that somebody has achieved often has nothing, the degrees that you have after your name often have absolutely nothing to do with your level of intelligence, whether that is, academic intelligence or emotional intelligence, but often have a lot more to do with like the socioeconomic background that a person lives in or the way in which they were raised or the opportunities that they've had in life. And I think it can be, that is just a particular example of a conversation that I have had many times with intended parents, not all intended parents. And I think even with the intended parents that I have had that conversation with, it's a really valid thing to discuss and to want to know. But it's interesting having that conversation, particularly if you're looking at a donor who lives in a different country with a different educational system. University, like particularly here in the UK, I think is, can potentially be a lot more attainable than it is in a country like Mexico or even a country like the US where, college degrees might set you back $250,000 if you don't get a scholarship, and it's just not attainable for everybody, but nor is it a goal for everybody either.
Mm-hmm.
And your child is going to be, that then the reflection of your child is not, just because your donor may or may not have gone to university doesn't usually have anything to do with what your child's going to do, because you're going to nurture that child the way that you want to nurture your child, and you're going to encourage them and support them. And that's going to be a reflection of you rather than, I think, oftentimes those genetics. But
yeah, absolutely. And that's what we say, isn't it? It's the way you bring that child up. It's the way that you love that child and nurture that child. And it's what you do in your family unit. It doesn't matter what degree that donor has. It doesn't matter whether that donor went to college or university or has that degree. It's what you do at home with that child. It's the love and it's the nurture, and it's that what's important. It's not what's important on that donor profile, or it's not what's important with the genetic parent of that donor child. Do you know what I mean? It's what you do at home, and that's what's important, and it's that what you need to focus on rather than the profile of that donor.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what advice we give to everybody. But again, it's everybody's personal preference, isn't it? This is just our opinions. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, everybody's entitled to their own rights, their own preferences.
Absolutely.
I think if you're going through a journey and something like this happened where you found out, you know, putting yourself in that position of you had a donor, you had your surrogate was pregnant and you found out the donors, your donor had killed her father. Would that, if that was me, would that affect me? Absolutely, it would shock you and you would feel like, oh my goodness, what has happened? Who is this donor? Like, she shared such a beautiful story as to why she wanted to become a donor. She's done such a beautiful thing for me. How on earth could a person do something like that? Would that would that make me feel different towards the baby? Absolutely not, because it's nothing to do with that baby, is it? That baby's totally separate from the donor's actions. But I think it would make you question the donor's morals and her values and why she would do such a thing. But I think that would be separate to the feelings towards the child. But yeah, it would make you question her as a person. Absolutely. Yeah. But I don't think I would have those views towards that child.
No. If anything, the only thing that I think I would do is work even harder to instill, you know, for that nurture element, right? You know, work even harder, make it even more of a priority potentially to instill that good moral compass. Not because of anything, you know, again, wouldn't change how I feel about the child, but I think it would just make me more conscientious about my actions. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And that protection.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And it is that nurture versus nature, and it would make me want to nurture that child even more.
Yes.
And obviously you'd have a lot of questions to the agency, to the organisation. Do you know what I mean? On how on earth has this got to this stage? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think it'd be totally separate towards the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It has nothing to do with that baby. It's not the baby's fault. You know, that baby is yours and just...
It's innocent, isn't it?
That's innocent. Yeah, that's still your child. That's still your baby.
Yeah, just like the child in, you know, the Friends story. That's an innocent child.
Yeah.
No matter what actions the biological dad has done, you know, that's totally separate. But I do appreciate some people's questions around, you know, would the child inherit any of those bad values that the father obviously has? But no, that they wouldn't, would they?
No.
I hope not.
No. Again, I think values are very much instilled in how you grow up.
Yeah. They're taught, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah.
They're taught.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it enjoyable and interesting. For us, it's always, you know, interesting to kind of consider these questions in nature versus nurture. So have you been in a situation like that, either through adoption or donation, where you may have found out that somebody who created or contributed genetics to your future child hadn't been entirely honest, or maybe had quote unquote less desirable characteristics or qualities than you might have originally thought? Let us know. Please feel free to drop a comment below. Remember, please keep it kind. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.